Hello YouTube and welcome to Cyprime Productions. I'm here to help enhance your tabletop gaming experience. Alright, you guys have been asking for this a lot, so it's finally time to talk about my thoughts on some of the best archetypes in Pathfinder 2... Wait, what? Sorry guys, hold on, I have to go do a comedy bit. What is it, man? No, I'm in the middle of a video. What? Paizo made an announcement? I don't do announcement videos on this channel. They announced what? And that? And that? Wow, that's a lot. Okay. Sorry guys, change of plans. As of the posting of this video, Paizo has just had a live stream where they dropped, like, all of the announcements? Looks like that's what we're doing today. So, if you've been keeping up with Paizo recently, again, as of the posting of this video, you'll know about the War of the Immortals event. This is a big thing that Paizo has been hyping. Now, there's a lot of facets to it and a lot of moving pieces, but at its core, the event is about a major shakeup in Golarion. And for those who don't know, Golarion is the default campaign setting for Pathfinder 2e. Anyway, the event is about one of the 20 major deities in Golarion passing away and how that changes up the world. Evidently, their passing causes their essence to rain down all over Golarion, which creates problems? Anyway, that's why the prophecy foretelling the god's end is called the God's Rain prophecy. Because the essence of the god is raining down. Get it? Yeah. For a while, there's been rampant speculation in the fanbase about which deity is going to go and what the shakeout of this will be. Early on, it was revealed that Pharasma, the goddess of death, was not going to be the god going out, and shortly thereafter it was revealed that a minor deity named Arazni would be stepping up to major deity status to replace the missing god. If you don't know who Arazni is, go check her out. She has a long and complicated past, but she's one of the few mortals who has ascended to godhood without being granted godhood by the Starstone. The Starstone is a mythical artifact in Golarion that usually wipes you from existence if you touch it, but 4 times throughout history it has granted a mortal godhood. Anyway, Arazni gained godhood without it, which is considerably harder. So this last livestream, which I've linked in the description below, revealed a lot of information, but first some context. You see, prior to this livestream, Paizo has published a bunch of flash fiction on their blog called the God's Rain Prophecies. These were well-written snippets of fiction about a celestial observer who figures out which gods are not going to pass by deep diving into 10 of the 20 major deities. There was one article a week for 10 weeks. They are good reads if you have the time. Plus, they give some great character ideas for clerics or champions of those 10 gods. I particularly like the one about Aurori. Anyway, this all culminated on Tuesday, April 16th, 2024, when they did their live stream and released which god was going to kick the bucket. But first, all of the other announcements. So this is a graphic from the live stream showing all of the upcoming War of the Immortals branded things coming out for Pathfinder 2e over the rest of 2024. And that's probably the first announcement to talk about. War of the Immortals isn't just a one-off thing. It's a big company-wide crossover where the entire status of the world is shaken up, and there's a lot of projects that tie into it. The first release, here, is a module coming out in July called Pray for Death. For those who don't speak Paizo, Pathfinder's definition of a module is a standalone adventure that lasts maybe 5 to 10 sessions. This particular module starts out at level 14 and is said to end at 17. In it, the players play Red Mantis Assassins. If you don't know what those are, Red Mantis Assassins are religious assassins who serve a minor god of assassination named Achikek. In this module, the player characters are sent to assassinate someone who threatens the world balance, and somehow this all ties into the War of the Immortals event. The next release is a half-adventure path called Curtain Call. Now, it is implied from this stream that this level 11 to 20 adventure path is kind of the definitive War of the Immortals adventure. It starts off before the War of the Immortals kicks off in earnest, and then the players play through the gods passing and all of the fallout of that. Now, later on in the stream, they said that the god passes away on screen in some form or another, meaning players witness it. And I think that might happen in this adventure path, though that is never directly stated. Also, they said that this adventure starts off more fantastical than other adventure paths, whatever that means. Hey guys, Editor Prime here. The day after this stream, Paizo has had another live stream where they gave even more information about Curtain Call. Apparently it starts off with a playwright and director wanting to make an opera about the party's adventures at levels 1 through 10, and it is soft canon that the adventure is the Abomination Vaults adventure path. Now, for your playthrough, it doesn't have to be Abomination Vaults, but all of the art is basically Abomination Vaults themed. Just an interesting tidbit. Anyway, back to the video. Next up is the actual War of the Immortals book. This book is going to be similar to Secrets of Magic and Guns and Gears, with a focus on mechanics and Galarian lore. Most of the book will be talking about the broad strokes of the War of the Immortals event, but it will have some gameplay mechanics in it. Notably, it will have two new character classes, the Animist and the Exemplar. Animists are similar to the first edition character class, the Shaman. They are divine spellcasters who work with spirits to get their magic. The Exemplar is the first character class with the rare trait, and they are characters whose class power comes from absorbing a tiny spark of energy from that god that is going to evidently explode and rain down divine essence all over Galarian. They are kind of the demigod class, taking inspiration from real-world myths such as Hercules or Kintaro. It is important to note that many Paizo employees have gone on record saying that the Exemplar isn't meant to be stronger than any other class. They are just powered by a tiny shard of divine energy the same way, say, a sorcerer is powered by a bloodline. Anyway, they are just rare because Paizo doesn't want 50 million new demigods running around Galarian. War of the Immortals is going to have some other class options, including class archetypes. Now, I think by class archetype what they mean are subclasses, but subclass is a fandom term that is more associated with D&D, so Paizo may be trying to avoid that terminology. Hey guys, Editor Prime Productions here again. Turns out I messed up. These class archetypes are actually coming out in the Divine Mysteries book, which will be later on in the year. Again, sorry for the mix-up. Anyway, from what I can understand, we are getting a new cleric subclass, or cleric doctrine, called the Battle Harbinger. This Battle Harbinger seems to be more fighting-focused than even the War Priest, at the cost of even more spell power. I don't have any specifics, but hey, check it out, that's Olok! If you don't know, he was the iconic or default artwork character for the War Priest back in Pathfinder 1st Edition, when War Priest was its own class. And hey, if Battle Harbinger is a new cleric doctrine, that's great, as we've been stuck with these same two doctrines for clerics since the start of Pathfinder 2. Another new, quote, class archetype, unquote, that we're getting is the Rivathun Emissary. They didn't say what class this was a subclass for, but oh wow, that's Chandra Geltel. Wow, she's the iconic for the Pathfinder 1st Edition Shaman class. She's also the only trans Pathfinder iconic character. She was assigned male at birth, but always knew she was a woman. She actually had a fairly supportive family. They weren't perfect, but they were pretty good. Anyway, shenanigans ensue, and Chandra finds some spirits who can tell that her body and mind are out of alignment. They teach her how to make a potion that aligns her body with her mind, and that potion then transitions her male biology to female. It's really cool to see her back. If you want to see the full backstory of Shardra, I'll link it in the description below. Lastly, there's this guy, the Palatine Investigator, which I'm guessing is an investigator subclass, which is called a methodology. I don't recognize him, he may be new, but the Paizo team said he's associated with the Esoteric Order of the Palatine Eye, a group of historian lore keepers. They said he can cast divine spells, so I'm guessing this would work similar to the Rogue Racket Eldritch Trickster, only for investigators, but again, that's speculation. This would probably be a good time to talk about the other character class announcement that Paizo made in this live stream. Paizo is releasing another playtest for two new classes slated to come out in 2025. These are the Commander and the Guardian. We learned nothing about these classes other than the Commander is supposed to be intelligent, so I'm guessing they are all about strategy and tactics. The Guardian is supposed to be a big, beefy, heavily armored character class, so maybe it'll be the second character class with 12 HP per level, though again, that's entirely speculation. We know literally nothing about them. Okay, we're finally off of the War of the Immortals book, moving on to the second adventure path called Triumph of the Tusk, which was just announced in this video. This is the shortest adventure path by level that Paizo has released for Pathfinder 2e, only going from levels 3 to 11. It starts off in Belkzen, and I guess it deals with the mortal side of the War of the Immortals event. Next up on the release schedule are 2 ebooks, Before the God's Reign and the God's Reign Prophecies. These are anthologies and short stories about what is happening in the world surrounding the War of the Immortals. Now, this is particularly interesting because Paizo stopped releasing their novels called Pathfinder Tales back in 2017, and this seems to be an attempt to restart that side of the business. In fact, they do just that with their November release, God's Reign, which is a story taking place during the War of the Immortals event, and hey, the main characters of the book are Amiri, the iconic barbarian, Kira, the iconic cleric, Maricel, the iconic rogue, and Ezrin, the iconic wizard. I haven't read any Pathfinder Tales before, but I might pick this one up. The last release is Lost Omen Divine Mysteries. In a previous live stream, they said this was basically the Gods and Magic book, but updated for losing a god and gaining Arazni. It will also talk about minor gods, including if those gods allow or require holy or unholy sanctification, which has been a major sticking point for divine characters ever since Player Core 1 came out. In other words, clerics of minor deities don't know where their god stands on the whole holy-unholy sanctification thing, so this book should clear it up. And now, what you've been waiting for, the reveal of the god that won't survive, it's Gorm. I kinda saw this one coming, to be honest. From a game mechanic standpoint, Gorm is one of the more problematic gods. If you take a look at his edicts and anathemas, they are all really hard to follow. One of his edicts is that you have to wear armor in battle, meaning it's hard to play a cloistered cleric of Gorm because they don't start off with armor training. Also, what are you supposed to do if someone ambushes you in the middle of the night? Let the bandits take you out because you don't have armor? Seriously, you risk losing all of your cleric spells if you go into battle unarmored. But by far the worst is the anathema against using negotiation to prevent battle. There are so many times that this will just end an entire party or close off story opportunities. I remember it was a problem in the first time I ever ran a Pathfinder 2 game. It was back during the playtest for the original Pathfinder 2, and I ran a little homemade short adventure where the PCs were all at a summit to prevent a war, and one player was like, I can't be here, it's against my religion. Like, what? Like, seriously, you can't try to talk a creature level 17 dragon out of killing your level 5 adventuring party if you worship Gorm. It's super unnecessarily restrictive and problematic for the GM, in my opinion. So yeah, I can understand why our Lord in Iron got the boot. That smoke leaking from his chest is ominous though, and the people in the live stream said that that's going to tie into the War of the Immortals. Now, there will be other releases during this time frame. This graphic is for releases that only pertain to War of the Immortals. For example, Player Core 2 is going to come out during this time frame. It's not on the graphic though because it doesn't directly tie into War of the Immortals. Okay, so that's it for the live stream. Like I said, link in the description below for the stream if you want to watch it yourself. And hey, if you want a bunch of enemies to send your new demigod players against, why not check out my third-party book, the NPC Omnibus. This product has 36 NPCs in it from character levels -1 to 10 with representations of most current classes, and it's updated for the Pathfinder Remaster. Check it out at DriveThruRPG or PathfinderInfinite.com and leave a review if you can. I would really appreciate it. And as always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. That tells not only me, but also YouTube that you'd like to see more of this kind of content. Thank you, good luck, and happy gaming!